Hello YouTube, this is Dakota from Bowtied Gaming, and today we're going to look at a tier list of the new Generation 9 Pokemon and all of their shinies. That's what we're looking at today. Shinies. A couple of kind of pre-caveats. I'm a huge shiny hunter. I think I have over 120 or 150 legit shinies, which is either a lot to some of you or not a lot to many of you, but I'm a huge shiny guy. Been collecting for a bunch of generations now. And let's hop into this kind of tier list. So a couple stipulations. I would say a shiny has to obviously look good by itself. I think if a shiny can stand its own, like if it looks like a normal Pokemon, like if the colors look normal, then it's a good shiny. And if they're changed enough, it's also a good shiny. If there's if it looks cool or even cooler than normal, good shiny. Something changed enough that it gives it a different reason to want to collect it, good shiny. That's pretty much my stipulations for what is and what isn't good shinies. So let's hop into it right off the bat. Sprigatito, really not a lot changed. Slightly brighter color, and yeah, not so great. So you know what, we're gonna give Sprigatito right off the bat just an E. Not too great. Floragato, very similar. Not a whole lot changed, so we're going to put E. It's not horrible. And then Meowscarada is we're also going to put an E. All three of them, not a whole ton really changed, and so it's not great. Fuecoco is it's a little more dull of a color. I don't think it's as worse. It's different enough that I think I would put it in D over E. And then Crocolore is similar, where it's just there. But Skeledirge does look a little bit more different with a kind of hot pink now rather than the kind of pale pink. And so I would say Skeledirge goes up just one more tier up to C. Quaxley, this is an interesting one because this line, again, the shinies of this line are all just more pale, but they look nicer. They look cleaner, almost pale, without the super bright blue. So I actually am going to put Quaxley shiny just above Skeledirge. Where Quaxwell is then going to go, I think, right behind it. And then Quaquaval, I think that's how you say, Quaquaval. We're going to go, I think I'm going to put it in D too, but I think I'll put it in the front of these ones. So those are the starters so far. Lechonk kind of goes pink. It's kind of a fun one, so we'll put Lechonk in B. And then Oinkaloni, I think that's how you say it, like it's baloney, Oinkaloni. There's the male and the female form here, so I think we're gonna put both of them. The colors are still nice. Total change. You know what? I'll put them both in B. I think the top one actually works the best. The kind of that variant. So Dunsparce. This one it's just the colors of Dunsparce. Dunsparce before wasn't really great, so we're gonna put it back in D. Tarantula. Tarantula's actually really cool, kind of a more Black Widow style here with the actual black, and it actually kind of looks more like a Tarantula's colors would be. So I'm actually going to put this one in A. I actually like Tarantula's colors quite a bit, but Spidops, not quite the same. We're going to put Spidops, I think, down in D. Lots of pink so far. So Nimble. I actually really like that Nimble and Lockix both kind of go to an actual grasshopper. They become an actual, like, what the thing is supposed to be. It's weird that you see the shiny revert to a color that it previously kind of was. So I actually like that. So we're gonna put both of them in A. I really do actually like going back to the original color of the way that the thing looks like in real life. So. Rellor, it kind of looks like it is just carrying a shiny ball, which is kind of fun, kind of funny, but we're just going to put it in C, where Rabsca doesn't actually change the ball this time. It's more or less the actual kind of scarab. It turns into like a golden scarab of sorts. So, because it's not that ball that changes, and I mean, that's okay. The gold scarab does look nice, so we'll put it here. We'll put it right below Rellor, maybe right above Rellor. Greavard and Houndstone go from like that kind of light blue to a gold. I don't think it needs to be this kind of gold color. I don't know. I'm not the hugest fan of it. Let's put it at the top or right at the end of D, I think. And Houndstone, I do think looks a little bit better though, so we'll put it at the end of C. So, and then Flittle and Espathra. Which don't look very similar. Flittle colors, it's a bit of a subtle change here, but not too much. So I think I'm going to put it below here, mid, even D. And then Espathra becomes like more black, or dark brown rather than the kind of orange, which I think the color actually looks nicer. So I'm going to put it up in B. I actually do think Espathra's shiny looks pretty nice. And then Faragirif, very much a little different, a little brighter, but not a whole ton of change, similar to the kind of Skeledirge in these. So let's put it, we'll put it right behind this one here. Wiglet kind of has its colors inverted. That's kind of it's kind of a fun one. Almost looks like another Diglett, but these colors are fun, I would say. So I think I'm going to put it in B, and then same with Wugtrio. I think I'll put it right behind it. I do like that the colors are inverted, just like the Wiglet and Wugtrio actually is. So. Donzozo, I don't actually know how to say that correctly, but it goes from the blue whale to a white and gold kind of whale, or catfish, I should say. That's kind of a fun one. I like it. I like the change as well, but we're going to put it just behind Wiglet, I think. And then Veluza. Veluza is going to be our first S. This is prime shiny. It's a cool looking Pokemon, badass looking Pokemon that just one change, just one simple change, keep the kind of gray scaled tone of the body and then just change the fins to a different color. It makes all the difference, and it's a shiny you want to collect. It's very easily visible to see when you want to try to hunt for it or when you're using it in battle, and the color is like a nice color too. It's not just a crap color. That's when I could see it being like another variant, like you could see it being like a male or female form type thing. So S for Veluza personally. Finizen turns into a kind of darker purple, almost blue, and yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I think we're gonna put it behind Faragirif here. Same with its Palafin. They are pretty much the exact same Pokemon style wise, but then it's the hero form that looks, I think, a lot better. I kind of like the really darker purple, almost brown. But we're gonna put it up, I think, yeah, above this one. I think we'll put it there. Smoliv. The olive actually becomes black, which is a fun little touch, fun little thing. So I think I'm going to put it right at the end here of B, just because I do like the idea of not having a lot change, but then also making the olives black. That being said, Smoliv and Dolive do that, where Arboliva does not. The color looks almost no different. It's very, very nothing. We're going to actually put it back here in E. There really is almost no difference. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it in F. There's so little difference. We're going to put it in F. Tragic. So, Capsakid goes from a kind of green to a light yellow, yellow-green of sorts. And so, again, not a super fun one. I think it's similar to the cats here. But we'll put it right behind Dunsparce, I think, at the end of D. And then Scovillain does kind of have a different color pants. The colors look a little weird here. It's or I wouldn't say weird, but like just different. So this is definitely a different one. And so I would put it, I think, right above of Finizen and Palafin here. So. And then Tadbulb, not much changes with Tadbulb, just the colors on the bottom here become a little bit more darker. And so I think we're going to the bottom of E, but it's Bellybolt that changes from the green to the bright yellow, which I think looks much better. So actually we're going to put it all the way up in A. I think Bellybolt is another one of the ones that's kind of like cool. You actually want to see that it has a big difference in it. So Varoom and Revavroom go from the steel to a gold, which is another one that's kind of a nice, easy, simple touch here. And we're going to put these above the Wiglets, I think, personally. So that's that. And then we got Orthoworm, which goes from the red to a blue, which is really nice color. A really fun change here. So I think we're going to actually put this even above Palafin here. It's a nice one. And then Tandemaus and Mousehold, they almost no change. F. Barely nothing changes. It's quite bad, actually. And then we got Satotl and Satitan. Satotl, I think we're going to put a little darker gray with not a huge change. The kind of pink on the eyelash turns into like an orange. So it's kind of cool. So let's put it just here in C. But Satitan is an A, I think. This one looks freaking super cool. I really like the darker scale of this one. And I think it does a great job of being a shiny that you really want to get. And I think that's one that people will hunt pretty quickly here. Frigobacks, not great. We're going to put actually back all the way in E. Really not a whole ton of change. It's just slightly different colors. Same with Acrobax, which I think looks a little bit better, even than Tadbulb here. And Baxcalibur, I'm sorry, Baxcalibur, almost nothing changes for you. You're going here in F. It's a real shame that one of the pseudo legendaries, one of the coolest looking ones, has very, very little change to it. It's tragic. It's sad. Then we go in the Tatsugiri, the different forms here. So these ones are interesting. So the first form I think is okay. It's pretty solid. We'll get a B here. The whatever the stripe form is. I can't remember exactly what it is. Same with the white one. The white one changes to a totally different color, which is also cool, other than I think it was the pink before. But it's the yellow form, I think, that turns into this orange form, which is the one we already have an orange form that turns to the more brown form. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of more crappy, so we're going to put this one, I think, just middle of D here. Although it does look like Nemo a lot more than the other actual orange one, but yeah. Salazar. Salazar is a weird one. It just looks like it's the classic kind of muted green/tan color that just is used a lot in legendaries, I feel. And so we're going to sadly put this one, I think, here in E. And then Palmy, Palmo, and Palmot, the kind of from the orange to the pink. Not too bad. I think we're going to put the whole line, again, all these pinks just behind here. Actually, no, I'm going to put them ahead of these. Although Palmot can go just here, and then, or no, Palmot can go here. This pink is just a little bit lighter than the other ones, and I don't like it as much, even though that is the skin tone, actually, so. Watrel and Kilowatrel, a little bit of a change, just a bit of a dark brown on the wings rather than kind of a black. It does make it look more like an actual bird for the most part, but still not a huge change, and so we're going to put them both in D here. So, and Bombardier takes all of its black out pretty much and makes it more white, which is kind of a little more on the subtle side, but kind of cool as well. But not a huge difference. I think I'll put it behind Nemo personally. And all the Squawkabillies, their heads just turn into like this kind of light pink, and their beaks turn into light pink as well. So not a huge difference. We're going to put behind all of them, just together behind D. So. And then Flamigo. Flamigo goes from the bright pink to an actual more of what a flamingo actually kind of looks like, of just the more kind of pale pink when it hasn't had a ton of the seafood. But it is more natural, I would say. Like it looks like what the real life flamingos do. So I don't think this one's too bad. I don't know. Personally, I have a softer spot for this one than I think maybe others. So let's put it here. Why not? Lots of pink. Cloth. Cloth is an interesting one. Goes from the bright, kind of more neutral orange to a bright blue. And I actually like it. This is a great example of another shiny that just changes well, that it becomes a good change. It's different enough, and it's a color that people actually like and will think is cool. So Cloth will put up in blue, or up in A. Knockley and Knocklistack and Garganackle, they go from like the kind of salt kind of marble color to actually sandstone sort color. So I think we're just gonna go, yeah, it does change enough though, so I think I'm gonna put them all just behind here in C. I think that's where we're gonna put them here. And then Glimmet and Glamora go from like a darker blue to a lighter blue. Not much changes in this one, so I'm gonna put these back here as well, just above Dunsparce, I think, to Dunsparce. And then we've got Shroodle and Garafai. This one, again, not a whole ton of changes. It's just kind of more in the eye color, and especially Shroodle here. So Shroodle's going to go, I think, here. Actually, no, I'll put it lower. No, maybe, yeah, I'll put it lower here. But then Grafii does look pretty different. It's got a weird, it's got a ton of colors everywhere, personally. But enough to make it look like it's definitely a shiny version. So I think we're going to put it above Nemo here. And then Fido and Dashbun are a little bit more baked, they look this time. But again, just that kind of weird, darker red color that's also a little bit more prominent. Same with the sandstone ones up here. So I think we're going to throw these, I actually going to put Fido down here, and then I'm actually going to put Dashbun up here. I do like Dashbun a little bit more. And then Mashtiff and Mabistiff goes from a kind of red to a purple, and Mabistiff doesn't really look different at all. So Mabistiff's going to go, I think, here. But Mashtiff does look quite a bit different, so we'll put it above Dunsparce, I think. So Bramblin and Brambleghast look like a little bit more dead of a tumbleweed, which is kind of a cool thing. It does makes it look a little bit different, but not too different. So I think we'll put these right behind the bird, so they're not crazy. And then these ones technically are unavailable in the game so far, but Gimmighoul and Golden Go are here, but barely anything changes. I was trying to look at it like really close intently, and it's barely anything changes. The gold on Golden Go just looks a little bit like there's like there's an orange kind of outline in kind of where the heads or like neck is, and it just turns into just gold, and it doesn't look great. So that's why they're putting them down in F. But then Great Tusk. This one is the actual Donphan look. Kind of get rid of the pink for a more natural look, and so I think it's the natural is actually a little bit better. So I think we're gonna put it up here. There, Brute Bonnet goes from the Pokeball to a Great Ball, which is just another great thing that's just always been a fun thing for Amoonguss for me personally. So I'm gonna put it at least the bottom of B. So. And then we've got Sandy Shocks, which is, again, just the Magneton, Magneton ones was never so great, so I think we'll put it here behind Dunsparce. Dunsparce really is my just key to knowing what is great and what isn't. Then Screamtail, again, Jigglypuff doesn't have a whole ton of change to it, so we're going to put it down in E. Slitherwing, oh no, I'm forgetting Fluttermane, again, just mischievous. They're the actual colors. I do like that they kept the main colors for the most part of the original shiny and then just kind of made it a little different. Slitherwing, I loved the Volcarona. The Volcarona is always so nice, so we're going to put the Volcarona actually even at the bottom of A. And Roaring Moon, the Salamence is an iconic one, so we're going to put it right at the end of A as well. Iron Treads doesn't change a whole lot. The red is just a slightly different color, so we're going to put it just the bottom of E, I think. Iron Moth, though, one of the best ones. I personally love it. It's just the wings are a little bit different. It's a little more subtle, but it's so good. And so I'm gonna put it up here in A. Actually, I love the more silver metallic look of it rather than getting rid of the red and kind of keeping the gray more. And then Iron Hands, not a whole ton change at the top of the head, just a little bit. So we're gonna put it all the way here, the bottom of E's again. Hydreigon, sadly, doesn't turn green. It doesn't turn to what the other one is. And so this one, I think is going to go maybe even an F. No, it's not that bad. We'll put it in between these. Why not? Then Iron Thorns, the Mecha Power Ranger of Tyranitar. This is our other A tier. Oh, wow. There's clearly a thematic here that I like of these shinies. It looks so nice. It's like one of those just classic, iconic shinies off the bat. So good. Iron Bundle's actually really good too. Goes from gets rid of the red of the Delibird, and I actually think it's one of the better shinies I've seen in a while. So I'm actually gonna put it here all the way up at A. I just think it does a great job of being a shiny. Similar vein for Iron Valiant, which looks great of keeping the kind of metallic look here, but not quite as strong. And so I'll put it just in between. I'll put it above Volcarona, I think. No, I'll put it above the Grasshoppers too. So just below this Volcarona. And then technically they're not released, but there is a little bit of footage of them. It's slightly there. It's kind of hard to see the differences too, but Ting Lu is here, and it's going to go in the bottom of E. Really nothing much changes. The colors are a little bit different, but not much. Qian Pao looks fantastic. It's the same thing the same treatment that Zoroark got. Zorora? The electric, mouse thing, rat. I don't even know what to call it. Panther. It looked great, and so this one also looks fantastic. Of going the kind of browner scale with the blue, works great. Wu Qian goes from the kind of dull looking thing to a more red, or having some red. So it's a big up change, I think, one that works really well. So we're gonna put it up in B. And then Chi Yu goes from the red flame to a blue flame, and the blue flame looks awesome. So we're gonna put it right behind here. It's very different looking shiny. Again, one that's very obvious to tell that I think people will like. And then the leaks of Koraidon and Miraidon. Koraidon, if this is legit, this is the best shiny, maybe even ever. The black body to the flame fire kind of thing, because the blue and purple from the original doesn't quite go as well, but then the red and the yellow to the orange, it looks so much nicer. Miraidon is a little more metallic, so it's not bad. The purple's kind of gone for a more metallic purple, so it's still a good one, but not nearly as clean as Koraidon's is. And then Tinkatink, really not much changes with these three. So Tinkatink's actually going to go down an F here. Tinkatuff is also going to join it, but then it does get a little bit different with the hammer with Tinkaton, so we'll give it a little bit of ups. So Chardet does look a little bit better of having the kind of blue flame in its eyes rather than the red, which is not too bad, but it's a little more subtle. So we're going to put it here right in front of that one. Armor Rogue is also not much changes, kind of the eyes, but it's a little bit worse, I think. So we're gonna put it down here. And Cerelage, I think that's how you say it. It's hard to tell the difference in Cerelage, so we're gonna put it sadly in F as a shiny. And then Toad School looks like a dead thing, so Toad School is gonna go, I think. We're gonna put it. It's different. We're gonna put it up in C. And then Toad Scrool also looks quite different too. So it's one that's very obvious to tell it's a shiny. So we're actually gonna put this just a little bit higher. I think we're gonna put it up in B. So, and then King Gambit, which is just the Pawniard evolution or the Bisharp evolution, looks freaking crazy. We're gonna put it up here in B as well. Put it behind the pig. Even I really like the pig. It's quite different. And then Wooper and Clodsire don't look a whole ton different. So I think Wooper's gonna go. Yeah, we'll put it in E, and then Clodsire is also okay, but I think just a little bit better. We'll put it right above Mastiff there. And then Annihilate, really not much change in Annihilate. It's a little more of like a blue rather than a gray. So I think we're just going to put it at the bottom of E here. And the Tauroses look almost no different, and so they're all sadly going to go into F. They're just maybe a little bit more black. They're quite bad. So, but yeah, this is the final tier list of the Generation 9 shiny Pokemon. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you thought these are bad picks, great picks, anything in between, let me know in those comment sections below. But other than that, I've been Dakota from Bowtied Gaming, and I'll see you guys in another video.